Ethan was a 24-year-old young man living in a big city, full of dreams, ambition, and a strong desire to become successful, believing that once he achieved success, everything else in life would automatically fall into place. But in that endless chase for money and recognition, he slowly began to forget the most important person in his life, his mother, Mary, who lived alone in a small village house, old, weak, and often sick. Yet every single day she called her son just to hear his voice, sometimes once, sometimes many times. But Ethan was always busy, always saying, "Mom, I'll call you later," though that later never came. And as days turned into weeks and weeks into months, her calls never stopped because a mother never stops loving her child. But Ethan slowly became successful, got a good job, new friends, a busy lifestyle, and with time, his heart started to grow cold. And every call from his mother began to feel like a disturbance in his life. Until one day, he told a friend that she calls too much and he cannot focus. And in a moment of frustration, he made the biggest mistake of his life by blocking her number. Just like that. Silence took over. No more calls, no more messages, and at first he felt free, as if a burden had been removed. But that freedom slowly turned into an unfamiliar silence, because no calls came anymore. No missed calls, no messages, just quiet emptiness that slowly started to feel heavy. Though he still convinced himself that it was good, she finally stopped calling. But deep inside, something felt strange, something he ignored. And then after 3 months, a letter arrived at his apartment. An old envelope with handwritten words from his hometown, and his hands froze because he already knew it was from her, his mother, and slowly he opened it and began to read. And the letter said, "My dear Ethan, I don't know if you will ever read this letter. I have been calling you every day, but maybe you are busy, or maybe you don't want to talk anymore. If I disturbed your life, I am sorry. I only wanted to hear your voice. The doctor said my heart is weak now, and I don't know how much time I have left. But before I go, I want to tell you I am proud of you, even if you never come back. I will always be proud that I am your mother. I still remember when you were a child, holding my finger and smiling. I wish I could hold your hand one more time. And if you ever feel lonely in life, remember you always had someone who loved you without condition. That was me, your mother." And as Ethan read those words, he stopped suddenly. His hands began to shake. His vision blurred, his chest tightened, and he whispered, "No, this can't be real." But he continued reading and reached the last line, which said, "If you are reading this too late, don't blame yourself. Just remember me sometimes." And the letter slipped from his hands as he broke down crying for the first time in years, like a child realizing what he had lost. And that very night he left everything behind, took the first bus back to his village with a heart full of fear, repeating only one thought: "Please don't be too late. Please don't be too late." But when he finally reached his village, everything felt unusually silent, too silent. And the neighbors looked at him with sad eyes, until an old man said softly that she waited for him every day. And Ethan ran toward his home, pushed the door open and froze, because his mother was lying peacefully holding the same letter in her hand with a gentle smile on her face. She was gone, and Ethan fell to his knees, holding her cold hand, crying loudly, "Mom, I am here. Please wake up." But there was no answer, only silence. The same silence he once thought was peace, but now felt like punishment. And in that moment, he understood the hardest truth of his life, that success means nothing if you lose the people who love you unconditionally. And from that day, he kept that letter with him forever, as a reminder that we should never wait for too late to value our parents, because sometimes the last call you ignore becomes the last chance you ever had.